Nintopic Podcast, all things Nintendo. Yeah!
Welcome to the Nintopic Podcast. I'm trying to hit the thing here, but it's not working. Can you hear it? You guys can hear it? I think it's not working. Anyway, welcome to the Nintopic Podcast, Season 3, Episode something, 11, 12, 13. I lost count. So it's episode something. Welcome. It's Friday. We're here. We're finally here. It's the time you've been waiting for all week, right, guys? It is Friday. Not only is Friday, it's Nintopics Day. And, you know, Paul's not raising his hand. He's saying hi. He's saying hi with his hand. So we are here, my friends. Another episode sponsored by Avermedia, the mic that you are listening to us right now. The fiasco from last week is back, and we brought it back for an encore. Paul has his mic there. Zach is somewhere there. Lily will have hers pretty soon. And shout out to Joycey J. I think she's in the chat. She'll be here soon in the chat. Joycey is out. She had surgery recently, so she is recovering. We send all of our loves, our hugs, and kisses, and get well soon to Joycey J. And she'll be back here with us by next week. But before that, I know you guys noticed we have some red in our atmosphere here. Her hair is red. And so I want to introduce to you all LillyHyrule. Welcome to the podcast, Lily. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you guys? So happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Today's first Lily's first time on the podcast, and hopefully not the last. I want to start with Lily. Lily, how have you been? And tell us, what have you been playing? Tell us about you. Like, what's your favorite games? I know it says Hyrule in your name, but it's gives it out a bit. But tell us about yourself and what have you been playing lately?
Yes, thank you, Mike. Well, probably it's a game that everybody has heard of. Zelda, I think. I'll definitely go with Zelda, of course, my favorite franchise ever. Yeah. But I've been playing. Last week, I got this game I don't know, ever since it got released, but I never actually completed it. I did completed that on the GameCube originally, and I'm talking about Metroid Prime Remastered. Yay, I finally completed that one, and cool. I did that last week. Nice. The thing is that I've been sick for about 2 weeks, fully recovered right now. Yeah. But it's sad to say it, but usually you have a little bit more free time when you're sick at home, right? Because you're kind of recovering and stuff, and all you can do is just chill and play video games. That, and I'm also playing currently Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Nice.
Because I recently got my PlayStation 5 as well. So, very excited about that so far. And for those of you that don't know me, I go by LillyHyrule, as you can see my handle here at the bottom as well. I mainly create content on YouTube. You can also find me on social media as LillyHyrule. But I do focus a little bit more on The Legend of Zelda. But I also, of course, if you like Legend of Zelda, what are the odds that you're going to like Nintendo? Of course. So that's pretty much what I'm covering at the moment. Slowly getting there. I'm a very small creator compared to a lot of you guys there. But, I'm very excited, very passionate what I do. I'm not a full-time. So, the struggles. Sometimes we have our priorities. And that's pretty much it. Like, in a nutshell, that's what I do. I love video games, especially Nintendo and The Legend of Zelda. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
That is awesome. Everybody, welcome Lily. I know there's a lot of welcome Lilies in the chat right now. If you have not done, if you have not done so yet, go ahead and visit Lily's channel and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification so you don't miss her Hyrule Zelda videos plus other things. I saw that she has a new show called Nintendo Weekly, which I actually really enjoy. It's like a recap of things that are happening inside the world of Nintendo, which is pretty cool. So check her out, and you guys will regret it. It's a really good resource for Nintendo stuff. Hey. Mr. Zach Hendricks, how are you, sir? And what have you been doing lately? Playing? Tell us about. I know you probably can't talk about your projects because you're working on sets and a lot of stuff is NDA based, movies, Hollywood stuff. He's probably working with Henry Cavill somewhere, and So tell us a little bit. How are you, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I was just the day before yesterday, I was on a shoot with Stacey Dash. So as a 90s kids, clueless, like Stacey Dash and Todd Bridges.
Man,
and I was with them. That was really fun. It was a really fun set. We did like 3 decades. It took place in a coffee shop, and then we changed it to the 90s and did 90s lights in the coffee shop. Then we changed it to the 80s and did 80s lighting in the coffee shop. So that was really, really fun to have a chance, Surprisingly, I didn't hear a lot of what you're talking about Willis jokes for Todd Bridges. I was kind of disappointed about that. But no, so that was a lot of fun. That's the most fun thing I did this week for sure. But as far as games go, I've still been sneaking in some Fall Guys on the Switch. And so, that has been my saving grace lately. It's been a busy, ever since I was sick, it has just been nonstop busy. It's weird because I don't have anything hard on my calendar, confirmed until the 16th now. But a lot of times I'll get stuff within 2 days. But it's just kind of is there time to dive in to another game? Ooh, this is looking interesting.
That's awesome, man.
So I have been rocking the Fall Guys.
That's awesome. I mean, Fall Guys is always a good game to sit back, relax, and just
Yes.
With
a little question for you though, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of Stumble Guys?
Sure. It's Mr. Beast is in it. Right? Stumble Guys. Yes, that's hilarious, man. It's like a shot for shot copy of Fall Guys. They take the little egg figure people and they just added legs and arms to them and faces, and that's it. That's Stumble Guys.
For those of you who are newer to this podcast, every single time I've mentioned that I'm playing Fall Guys, Mike asks if I've heard of Stumble Guys. It's like a running thing at this point.
Now you brought it up. I see.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, Stumble Guys is for all those who don't have a console. I mean, is Fall Guys on iOS and Android? I don't think so, right?
I just played it on my Switch.
Yeah, so for all of you who don't have a console, then Stumble Guys is your alternative to Fall Guys, and you will not miss a thing. Everything's the same. All right, so I want to shoot over. I want to go across the pond. Well, not across the pond. Well, across the pond. We're headed over to Japan, specifically to Miyamoto's house, because this next contestant, this next host, does not leave Miyamoto's house. Sometimes he's mowing his lawn. He fell off the tree, hurt his hand, but trying to get some apples. And well, I'll let you explain for himself. Paul Guild Network, Miyamoto's best friend, and what's up, Paul? How you doing?
Pretty good. The calamity is starting to exit the hand, and I'm
man.
healing up pretty well. Ganondorf couldn't, put me
Oh,
away
man.
for good.
Yeah.
So I'm doing all right.
So how many abilities do you have now in your hand?
4.5.
So okay,
Because the middle ability is operating pretty well, but not completely back to normal.
are you able to ascend?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For
I don't
anybody
know
who doesn't
how-
understand, this is a Tears of the Kingdom joke.
Yeah. You think they're jokes, but they're real.
I mean, it's a real situation. Paul's hand is really injured. Ganon was probably behind it, but not really in person, But
all things considered, doing well though.
yeah.
I was, of course, gaming wise, up until this, I was playing Final Fantasy Rebirth and looking forward to Princess Peach Showtime. I was able to still play Princess Peach Showtime during it after a little bit of time passed because I could switch the Joy-Cons and have one just operating and in between these two fingers and the other one here. Haven't got back into Rebirth because I need to keep the hand elevated above the heart, and playing like this just does not sound too appealing.
Yeah.
But having one hand up here or chilling on the pillow and one hand over here has been okay. I am looking forward to, I think it's available now, the Tetris 99 crossover with Princess Peach Showtime. Every time that Tetris 99 has an event, I always participate in that because I'm a pretty big Tetris player and have a good amount of first place wins and even one Invictus championship, which is a championship victory amongst other champions.
Yeah.
So I like Tetris 99 quite a bit. But also this week, not a new game, but I've been playing quite a bit of Fortnite because my son is getting more and more into it. And the setup is so cool because, we have a Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo Switch OLED model, and also a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series. But on TV, one of us will be playing on, Fortnite there, and on the other account, the other person's playing portable. And I could still play with my Joy-Con here, and I could play with my hand here, and my son's playing on the screen or on the Switch portably, whatever. And it's been good. It's been good getting in some duos and stuff like that. But unfortunately, that's it gaming wise. I haven't been able to get back into Final Fantasy. But gaming related stuff, I got some cool stuff this week. One of them I'm wearing right now. It's my Evil Ryu versus Violent Ken t-shirt. There's a boxing company called Super Rare, and they partnered up with Street Fighter with Capcom. So I got this it's kind of reminiscent of Ryu's karate gi, but it's a sleeveless hoodie.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's pretty cool. And I got this Ken inspired one, which is red to match Ken's gi.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And, not a sponsor or anything like that, but still neat stuff. And I got some hand wraps. So if you like Street Fighter, which you should.
You should.
I just suck at fighting games. I do like them though, but
on sale and stuff. But, yeah.
That's good. That's good. I mean,
I got these hand wraps, which I can't use right now. But
maybe if you would have had them on, then maybe you'd not have that going on. The hand wraps, right? Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I mean that's awesome. Well, on my corner. Oh yeah, go ahead. You were something.
One last thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was also reminiscing because this week, April 1st, was the 1 year anniversary from when I went to the red carpet premiere for the Super Mario Brothers movie. So I was reliving all of those images that day with Anya Taylor-Joy and Jack Black and stuff like that. And today is the 1 year anniversary of the movie coming out in theaters. So
that's true.
Small shout out to the Super Mario Bros. Movie for turning 1 and me enjoying it on the 1st as no April Fool's joke with Hollywood. And then today, I watched it with my family a year ago.
That is true.
The rest of the world, a good portion of the world did.
So for those who don't know, Paul Gale lives across the street from the actual red carpet. I mean, the red carpet starts at Paul Gale's front doorstep, and it leads all the way to the theater, and then all the way there, he just bumps into Jack Black, Anya Taylor-Joy. He bumps into everybody along the way there. So don't be surprised if you go to Paul Gale's networks, either on Instagram. You have Instagram? Any social media you find Paul Gale Network, you'll find him with a celebrity next to him. Hopefully not with the hand like that, but like this. But yeah, that's awesome, Paul. That's awesome. That's true. It is the 1 year anniversary of the actual release of the Super Mario Brothers movie, the movie that changed everything for the Nintendo. Well, not yet. It hasn't changed everything yet. It started everything, and there's more to come along with that Zelda movie. That's I'm already excited for it. I'm not scared at all. Miyamoto's in charge, with other people. So looking forward to that. Also, that new Mario's universe movie that also announced. So we have 2 movies announced thanks to that Mario movie. We have to say that because without that Mario movie, these other projects maybe would not have been greenlit the way they were. So shout out to Mario for having the first anniversary of the Mario movie. If you have not seen it yet, man, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Like, what are you doing with your life? You have not seen that movie yet. Come on. All right. In my case, I've been playing Final Fantasy Rebirth as well. Yeah, on the PS5 there. That's basically it. Final Fantasy Rebirth. I'm playing a lot of Animal Crossing with my daughters. So started my island all over again. Because I'm not that great at terraforming and making it look like all nice and cool. And so my daughters are helping me turn my island into actually Hyrule. So I wanted to turn it into like Hyrule and everything really cool.
Nice.
And yeah, like the Calamity Hyrule, not the fixed one, like the broken up one. And so that's what we're doing. That's what I've been doing lately. And what else? Oh, working on the Mike Odyssey show, which is premiering. I'm not gonna tell you a date yet because I have a lot of work to do. So you see here, it's like under construction back there. That's the other set that I'm working on. And then of course back there, that I'm not gonna show you a lot, but there's a lot coming. And so I'm excited about the new show. Gonna have some guests over, including Lily, of course, on that brand new show. Hopefully, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really cool. I already got some voiceover guests confirmed. I'm not gonna say a word because
I was about to ask.
I'm not gonna say one word because it's gonna be something very soon. Okay, so it's coming soon, and that's what I've been doing lately. Before we get into our main topics today, because our topics are one that basically happened this week, right? Over the week, we got a patent, surface, right? We got a patent surface, and with all transparency, that patent surfaced back in 2021, but it surfaced in Europe, right? When it surfaced in Europe, didn't make the waves. People just kind of ignored it, right? And so once it was published, I think on the 3rd in the United States. I was just so happened to looking at patents like I always do. I cover patents a lot, and I happened to discover the American version of the patent, which was an update to that one. I published my video, and then it took off from there, and that's how it made the rounds everywhere. Just everybody's covering it now, and it has to do with a certain. We'll get into that. So that's our first topic of the day. The next topic is going to be the Nintendo Direct Indie World Showcase. What are we expecting this week? Because it is April, right? There's nothing planned for April as of yet from Nintendo, and with some upcoming presentations that have already been planned by Sony, by Ubisoft. They've already announced their presentations May and in June. It's just pretty obvious that we are now entering presentation season, kind of the event season for the summer, like Summer Game Fest, all that stuff happening very soon. And so that's our second topic for today. What does Nintendo have planned? What are we going to do with that? But before that, I want to go ahead and once again thank Avermedia for sponsoring this video. You are listening to the Nintopics podcast on the Avermedia mic. They are well known for capture cards, and I think that should be completely transparent. That is their strong point. They are very well known for their capture cards. They're very, very good capture cards that they have in their lineup. And so if you're looking for a good capture card if you're looking for streaming, right? You want to stream on YouTube or any other platform, you want to look the best and the greatest. They have among the best capture cards out there, and other than that, if you didn't know, I didn't know beforehand. They also make mics. They're entering now into the microphone lineup. And if you are a beginner microphone person, you're not into like the bigger brands or very expensive brands, you want a mic just to begin, just to start everything out, right? Then this is the mic that we can recommend you start with, because it's not that expensive, right? It's not too expensive. It's within your price point. And I have a little thingy here we're gonna go over. Let's see here. All right, so you want to take it away, Jack? I was looking for the script.
That's your cue.
That's your cue, Jack.
You gave me a good lead up too, because when you first started talking about it, I thought we were gonna jump right into this, and I had a tickle in the back of my throat directly before that, and I was like, "Oh, I hope he doesn't do the mic thing now." And then you're like, "Speaking of that," I was like, "Oh, here we go. Hey, okay, here's my script." And then you kept going, and I was like, "Oh, perfect."
So, guys, we're gonna try to get through the script. Okay, we're gonna be as creative as we can, and then we'll do what we'll make it entertaining. Okay, so just it's out there. It's out there.
Yeah. So you gotta do like some cover it up or I don't know. All right, we're just gonna jump.
Pretend we're having a cup of coffee. Hey Zach, what's up, What's up, Zach? We just met at a coffee shop. Oh man, the coffee shop is closed. Good thing I brought my Waterloo. Well, this video is not sponsored by Waterloo. It's sponsored by Avermedia.
I got this. Yo, what up, Nintopics podcast pals? Zach here, and today we are diving into the magical world of audio gear. Buckle up, because we've got some secret weapons, and that is the Avermedia Live Streamer Mic 350, or the AM350.
Wait, Zach. Are we talking about a spaceship or a microphone?
Haha, Mike, close. I think that's a good way to read it. The cheese it up. Haha, yeah. Mike, close. The AM350 isn't intergalactic, but it's out of this world good. Imagine studio quality sound in a sleek package. It's like James Bond meets Beyonce.
Ooh, intrigued. But why should our listeners care?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Mike. First of all, the direct audio tuning technology that they have is fantastic. Most of us can't afford an audio engineer. And so having an entry-level tuning technology that's very easy to use is great. Second, you got dual pickup patterns. You got cardioid for solo shows and omnidirectional for group chats. And third, they have their Vibe Engine software. It's just like a little seasoning, a little salt-based seasoning. For your voice,
a little sprinkle. Well, Zach, can I use it for karaoke? I like to karaoke. Just spend some good times. Can I?
Absolutely. The AM350 turns your closet into Carnegie Hall. Plus, Mike, our listeners get an exclusive deal. Use promo code Mike Odyssey, spelled the same way as Mike Odyssey, because that'd be weird if it wasn't, at checkout for a sweet discount. Your ears will say thank you.
So, Zach, spaceship or not spaceship? The AM350 is our ticket to audio stardom? Is that a question? That's a weird question. That's a question. All right. So, Zach.
You got...
So, I'm rewinding. So, Zach, spaceship or not spaceship? The Audio 350. Is this our ticket to audio stardom?
You got it, Mike. You got it, Mike. Grab your mic, cue the theme music, and let's rock this podcast galaxy.
All right. Thank you to Avermedia for sponsoring this video and for providing the Avermedia Live Streamer Mic 350 or the AM350. Use the code Mike Odyssey down below to checkout for a discount at checkout. The links are down below in the description. If you are listening to our live podcast, or not really live, you're listening to it on Apple Music or listening to that thing, that radio thing, or the other one with the Spotta something, then you have to visit our channel to get that link to get that discount. So there you have it. Thank you, Avermedia, for sponsoring this podcast. Yay! People are clap now. We finally got to this this thing. I'm looking for the clapping sound, but It's not working. Not working. What is this?
I do want to shout out Avermedia. They have a very cool Stream Deck type device. I think what do they call those now? Control centers? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It has 4 touchpads and then a bunch of knobs at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then the screen, I want to say, is also a touch screen. That's been on my radar for a while. And so just like how Mike just now, you were like, where's the applause button? If you had the live streamer AX310, you could just hit the applause button.
Right.
So that is a great device for podcasters. So I'm just going to bonus shout that out too.
I'm telling you, thank you for that, Zach. I really need to get on with the program and get that thing you mentioned there, because it's cool. It's cool. All right, so let's go and jump into our main topics of the day. All right, we're gonna go ahead and introduce the topic, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let our special amazing crew here take it away with their thoughts and their messages and stuff. And Paul, is your hand okay?
You enjoying that Velcro sound?
I'm like, is your hand okay, Paul?
Wait.
There you go.
Yeah,
Very crisp.
letting it breathe, getting in some motion.
All right, so our first topic of the day has to do with the patent discovered this past week. Thankfully, I had the honor of discovering for the second time 2 years later after it was released on the English side, and so it broke into the news outlet everybody's covering now. But the patent itself isn't related to a Nintendo Switch dock. Basically, what the patent tells us is that there is. Let me go ahead and do something better for you guys. If I can go ahead and I'm going to share my screen here. That way, our live viewers can take part in this patent discovery thingy here. And we can go ahead and go over it together. Let me know if you guys can see it.
Yep.
All right. So this patent was basically issued on April 2nd, 2024. And it was filed on July 12th, 2021. What happened was that in the Europe patent agency there, they got the patent approved before. They were submitted at the same time, but the US took a little longer, all the way till 2024. And so now we have the patent. This patent mentions one word more than any other word that we could actually hear dub the next Nintendo system, the swivel, because that's what it says here. A lot of swivel stuff. So a device holds a portable electronic device having a display. The device holder has a main body for holding the device in a state with the device placed with the side surface downward and a swivel block. I'm going to read just to there because that's all that matters. A swivel block. Now, as we scroll down here, we see what looks like a Nintendo Switch OLED, right? Nintendo Switch OLED, and the dock that looks like the actual dock that we have for the Nintendo Switch OLED as well. But there's a difference here. There's a big, giant opening on the side here that the Nintendo Switch OLED does not have, right? As we scroll down even more, we see the screen, we see the dock again, and then we see this. That looks like a screen again, right? The screen, and then this is the screen again, and here we have this is our the big event of the entire patent here. This little block that you're seeing on your screen right now, and if you're hearing to it, there's a little block here right behind where the connectors go on the Nintendo Switch dock. So this little block, basically, you can swivel it, meaning you can rotate it side to side, and you can actually choose on what side of the dock do you want your ports to be on, right? Your HDMI, your USB-C, the power, the USB-C, USB adapter, and then you can choose on which side you want it. The next image shows the same exact little square there, and let's continue down because there's a lot more here. I want to go over to the swivel part. This is the little block here, components here, and still, and there you go. That is a swivel right here. We see the little arrow kind of telling us that this piece right here is swiveling to the right. And once you swivel to the right, you can actually push it to the left and and this box right here should fall into this part, bringing these connectors on the outside of the dock here, and of course on this side as well. So basically that is what the patent is about. It's more about convenience. If you are setting up your Switch dock and you want to set up on your TV, then you have the option of putting the cords on one side or the other. Not only that, but there's more than one way. There's more than one patent here. There's two, and we see here the same exact thing. It's been completely swiveled, and we see the two USB adapters on the other side. But there's another image here. Down here, we go down, 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 down. Keep going. Okay, so this is the actual image right here. This is the other one. You see here is not there. There's no opening on this one. This is just a solid one. But what happens here is that the entire back swivels, as you can see on your screen. Instead of having the opening here and having the little box, the entire back of the Nintendo Switch dock swivels, and you can change on which side you want your outlets to be in order to connect your HDMI cables and all that stuff. So, again, there is no proof whether it is or is not for the Nintendo Switch 2, right? A lot of us, because it's the first time we see this. Not only is it the first time, it's in the form factor and in the design factor of the Nintendo Switch OLED, which is a newer console dock, right? We had that first regular dock, and now we have the second dock, the regular one, the OLED one. Which again, remember how there was a speculation that we were going to get that Nintendo Switch Pro back in the day, but we didn't get it. We just got the OLED screen. And then there is enough evidence that suggests that Nintendo just basically scrapped the Pro chip just because the chip shortage at the time. So they just gave us an OLED with a dock that can support 4K resolution, and so that's the entire story here. Now I want to go ahead and take this swivel story over to the chat. I want to know, not the chat, sorry, the crew and the chat. I want to know what you guys think about this. In your opinion, I want to go ahead and start with Lily. It's the first time you're in a podcast, Lily. Tell me what do you first thing, do you like this? What do you see here? And then what are your thoughts?
Thank you. No pressure at all. Well, I find it very convenient, of course, because there's always a struggle as to how are you going to connect everything, right? Like it's very limited. Like I personally have the original Switch. I don't have the OLED, but I know that on the design, the current design that we have for the Switch, regardless of which one you're using, it's kind of the struggle as to where you're going to put it, right? Like for example, if for me, it's a bit of a pain just to have to move things around so I can adjust everything. So having an actual piece that's going to swivel around for you to be able to switch around is just a convenience for it. I feel like it's going to be very convenient. But the second figure that we saw, I feel like that's going to be like a separate model. And of course, these are patents, so we don't really know that that's going to be the final product. But there's a reason why Nintendo is filing them, because of course they want to protect their intellectual property, of course. So whatever what I feel is like this particular one that you have there on the screen, that looks to me like a separate or like a different kind of dock that they're also going to be working on, or they have worked on. But yeah, I really do like it, of course, because it's going to be a lot more convenient for you to connect everything, especially because of the little edges that you have on the side. Like right now on the Nintendo Switch, you have to have both of the cables very like very well aligned for it to work, but this one has like a lot of room for you to put all the cables, which is also great. I also see like a bunch of things that like it has a lot of potential. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it really has a lot of potential. And yeah, the Nintendo Switch swivel or Nintendo swivel, I don't know, right?
The swivel. The swivel.
Yeah.
That's
breakdance edition.
A breakdance edition. Right. Imagine the commercial being like all 80s. The swivel. Nintendo Switch swivel. All right, Take it away, Paul. What do you think?
I like it, and I'm seeing a couple of different possibilities. First of all, that basic one, the image that you have up with the little cube on the back, that's just going to help folks in general have an easier time setting it up in the middle of their entertainment system, off entertainment center, off to the right or off to the left, because you can make the cables go in the other way. But if the whole back in a different model potentially allows it to swivel like this, I see the console also being able to be placed, horizontally, possibly, which the current Nintendo Switch dock you can't really do, because then the connector would be bent. So then that also makes me think, I kind of miss a console being placed horizontally, a Nintendo console, that is. Well, I mean, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, well, actually the PS5 is horizontally. I know, come to think of the Xbox Series is as well, because it just fits better. But like, for me, consoles used to be more artistic. I like the design of the NES. That's a piece of my entertainment center or old bedroom back in the day, the Super NES, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube. They're showpieces. I like it more than just rectangle boxes having to look elegant and fit in with a living room entertainment center. I mean, I think I showed you my living room before. It doesn't look like a modern day person's entertainment center. It's got video game statues and tons of amiibo everywhere and video game controllers as part of the art decor for this grown-up house's living room, So I would like, not that the dock can't look good, especially docks that have, the Animal Crossing theme or Monster Hunter theme or whatever, but it is just a plain rectangle. But if it could be placed this way, maybe there's a little bit of hope that there's some top-down view that looks nice or looks elegant, or kind of like how the Wii, you could place it vertically but slightly angled or on its side. Maybe this allows some different type of motion to make the dock look more aesthetic. I've always thought like faceplates were kind of cool, interchangeable, swappable faceplates. Although then you could argue that maybe that would limit the amount of specific Nintendo Switch docks that would come out, because people could just buy faceplates at all times, right? So there's always that. Like, it's not the newest thing. PlayStation has it with the PS5. Xbox 360 had it back in the day. The new Nintendo Switch also had faceplates, but that back dock with a swivel makes me excited for just possibly a different look of the dock and possibly having more to it visually in your entertainment center. And to satisfy some people's problems, because some people's problems were that the dock's too tall. It's in the bottom of that TV, or it doesn't fit into these little sections. So they would rather have it, sideways. I don't know. I like options. I like this. I like
Options are
this
good.
swivel possibility, and
that swivel name is going on me for some reason. I don't know why, but the swivel. I was just playing swivel this last week, and just swivel. When in the past, I said before the Nintendo Switch, have you ever thought you was, hey, I was playing Switch? For us, the Switch was just like the light switch,
Yeah.
And Nintendo made the word Switch cool. So hey, swivel could be there too one day, right? What do you think? What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Actually, what Paul said, I don't know how much anyone's dove in. Ever since you posted this video, I've just been like looking at this patent and all the information on it. So like the boring stuff. So pages 25 through 39.
Yeah.
But what Paul said, let me find it. I think it's on page 25. Or it might be on 26. But basically they're talking about the swivels there for convenience, and having to plug cables into the outside of a system can be whatever. I think it's in the background section. Let me see here. Okay. In this regard, if a connector for connection to a television receiver or other video display device is fixed to a specific position of the outer circumference of the device holder, there is a possibility that the operation for laying the cables to be connected to this connector will be troublesome. For example, if the space for placement of this device is at the right side of the video display device, and if the connector is placed at the right side surface of the device holder, The cables connected to the right side surface of the device holder will be connected to the video display device disposed at the left side of the device holder. Therefore, the operation for laying cables will be troublesome. And so, it really just seems like a quality of life improvement.
Yeah.
And I am big on quality of life improvements. Like, I think it's cool. I don't think that last image is, I think this is what it actually looks like. The last image, I think, is more of a, what do they call it? A display of function. And so, especially because like their purpose they talked about in that was how the external connectors and whatnot can like get messy, and having internal connectors is better. I think the bottom image where it looks like almost like a whole switch dock rotating is just showing the function of that internal block swiveling.
Makes sense.
And so it's like when this device swivels, you're able to access the left side of the back face for these ports, or if it swivels this way, you're able to access the right side of the back face for these ports. But I'm not a patent expert. I tried to file one once to figure out what I was doing. So
it kind of makes sense. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It could be two different patents, or it could be just one. And what you said, like basically the first little square box is just showing what this is doing on the
so that one side. So if you go up, I think like that's because that's how the entire, like those notches that are in the back on both sides that you pointed out in the video. Like that's essentially how those function, because your cords would go in on that side. And then but again, I tried to file a patent once and it didn't work. So
it makes sense because basically we're not seeing the cover on that first image. We're like the actual cover. Here we're seeing the entire piece put together and already covered, and so we can't see the little box on the side, and so it's just one piece here. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, and I think I said before on this podcast how it always killed me how the whole dock was just empty, because it's like there's just Nintendo could have like beefed up the system and like made it into like an external graphics card to do some more processing, so in your dock you can get better resolution or frame rates or whatever. And so seeing them doing something new and different with the dock gives me hope that we're going to continue to get every drop of juice out of these Nintendo systems that we can. I agree. I'm excited for the next system. I know it's going to be a lot more powerful. I know it's going to be a lot more convenient. If this is Nintendo's mentality for their next system, I think they're on the right track. They're thinking about not only power for the system but also convenience for the user. And so I'm excited. Anybody else have any thoughts about this that you guys want to add? Well, since Joycey's not here, I'll ask a question. Does it play Zelda? Joycey, she's in the chat, right? She's in the chat.
Yes,
she's in the chat. So
she said in the chat, I like just being able to connect stuff on the outside, but she didn't say does it play Zelda.
Well, for Joy, okay. So to ease Joyce's mind and everything, make sure she feels comfortable with it. Yes, Joyce, it does play Zelda. Well, you have to connect the cables to it though. Then after that, it should play Zelda.
I'll ask that question for Josie. Does it play Zelda? There we go.
It does.
Play Zelda.
Hopefully, if this is Switch 2,
Zelda.
Hopefully, 4K Zelda. So hopefully it does play Zelda, and it plays all the Zelda games from the Nintendo Switch if this is the Switch 2. Backwards compatibility, and we can get all these games moving forward. All right, so let's see here. Pokemon game has always been portable. Continuing the game, portable system makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to topic number 2 of the day. Of the night. It has to do with the Nintendo Direct, right? Nintendo Direct. We know we are in the month of April. How many here like Nintendo Directs? I love Nintendo Directs. I'm excited about Nintendo Directs. I feel like Christmas morning. Nintendo Direct. Right? I feel like it's Christmas morning. Every time we get a Direct like that day, there's an anticipation waiting for what Nintendo has in store. Paul, do you have your hand up? I'm just kidding.
Yes. I'm excited.
He wants to ask a
Nintendo
question.
Direct. Raise your hand if you like Nintendo Direct.
Exactly. So the Nintendo Direct, yeah. Basically, I know there's only it's a room by one person, right? And this is PH Brazil. This is the source for this Nintendo Direct in April, and there's only one. I would love to hear more from other leakers, other content creators out there, just to get a little more comfortable with the news. But it's just one person. The only reason why we're covering is because the same person, PH Brazil, was the very first person to actually talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 delay towards 2025, right? And when we're talking about a delay, we're not talking about a release date delay, as release plans delay. Nintendo delayed their plans and pushed them back to 2025. The very first person to talk about this and bring it out was the Brazil guy, the PH Brazil, I think his name is on Twitter. And so after that, the entire community of leakers joined PH Brazil in echoing these, that they have heard also that the Nintendo Switch plans to release the next system was also pushed to 2025. And well, he gained instant credibility after that, right? We say, wait, this guy just all right, he caught my attention. I see you, man. I see you. And so after that, I would say maybe the next day or the next week, he dropped a couple more bombs. He said, hey, guess what? We're getting an Indie World Showcase, and then we're getting a Nintendo Direct. But not only that, we're also getting a Nintendo Switch 2 presentation or reveal in June. Okay? So those are that's what's out there. That's what's out there. Just so you know, PH Brazil, leaker who was in charge of the very first person who mentioned the Switch 2 delay, mentioned that we are getting a Nintendo presentation in April or around this season, two of them, an Indie World Showcase and a Nintendo Direct, right? Whether it's a Nintendo Direct, Nintendo Direct Mini, we don't know that. But knowing that April is the only month that is completely open, there's no plans for Nintendo this month, that this is the best month to do it. So the Nintendo can go ahead and fill in whatever they have ready for the rest of the year. About the Nintendo Switch 2 in June, I don't know. I hope, right? We all hope. But for now, we're going to go ahead and focus on Nintendo Direct. Indie World Showcase, yeah, they have a couple games new. I know that there is a brand new update in the news that Hollow Knight Silksong, it still exists. It made the rounds in the news again. And so Xbox put up their page. It was rated. Finally, Hollow Knight Silksong has been rated. And so now the community is thinking, okay, we are about to get that. Now, will we get that in the Indie World Showcase? Or will we get that in the full direct? Because it qualifies for both, you know? So that itself kind of also points to Nintendo having a presentation very, very soon. Now, with that information, gonna throw it out to the chat, and not to the chat, to the crew, and not if we're getting one. Let's pretend we're getting one. I want you all to just make your own. What would make or break 2024 for you when it comes to a Nintendo Direct? Like if you see the showcase, what will make and what will break 2024 for you when it comes to a Nintendo Direct? We can answer both questions. I'm going to start with Paul because he had his hand up. So, Paul, you know.
What would make it?
And what would break it?
Anything shown, because I still go back to an era of being used to very big droughts.
Yeah.
Towards the end of Super NES in anticipation of N64, to the end of N64 in anticipation of Nintendo GameCube, in anticipation of Wii, to Wii U, etc. And the fact that we've been eating so good for 7 years now on Nintendo Switch, the fact that there's more games that have released on this platform than any other, and there's no way that I could have bought or played any of them, so I'm in no, scramble of lacking things. I could go back and buy something that looked good that I didn't pick up, or something that eventually goes on sale, or some third-party games, because don't forget, like, past Nintendo systems post Super NES had a difficult time acquiring big third parties, and the Nintendo Switch is the most third-party rich system in Nintendo's history, probably eclipsing SNES, respectively, and jump in with indies, and you've got just so many games available. So even if, and I don't think this is the case because it never is, or at least it hasn't been in the Nintendo Switch era, even if the last game that Nintendo releases this year is Endless Ocean, and the next 6 months are just quality third-party ports and Silk Song coming from Independence and some new games coming to NSO, that doesn't sound like too horrible of a thing for me. I think a younger audience would say like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? That's horrible. I lived through GameCube droughts and Wii droughts and every console drought except for Nintendo Switch. And there's, like I said, any Nintendo Direct that would come in April would be fine. But what I would love to see is finally a confirmation in this April Direct, kind of like how we talked about before. You kick it off with a Metroid Prime 2 or Metroid Prime 2 and 3 HD. You give a little hint that, for Metroid Prime 4, you're going to have to wait a little longer. Thank you for your time. You end this show with, we said a little longer for something, didn't we? Enjoy. And then you show that Metroid Prime 4 trailer. I'm like, that would be just the coolest thing ever. Coming this November 15th. Oh my gosh. That'd be crazy. The whole year. But honestly, they could have a little Direct that only has third-party stuff, and I'd be happy if that's the rest of 2024, honestly, because I don't doubt that there will be third-party games. I know there's going to be NSO. I know there's going to be indies. And I'm not too greedy because there are some games that I haven't picked up yet, but I don't think that's the case. So Metroid would seal it for me. And honestly, they could just pull out Yoshi's Woolly World and throw that in. That'd be a nice little surprise. Give Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. That'd be a nice little thing. Give one more bone that you would throw, which would be like a Super Mario Galaxy 2 remastered, even if it was like Metroid Prime remastered quality. Oh my gosh, that would blow a lot of people away to have Galaxy 2 in that caliber. And that's it. And you're like, well, what about new games? Only Metroid Prime 4? Dude, but for a lot of people, Galaxy 2 has been unplayable on a modern platform for a long time. It was playable on Wii U, but how many people own Wii U? Less than 14 million. Yoshi's Woolly World, that would be a new game for many people also. Wind Waker, a new game for many people as well. So if at the bare minimum that's all we got, I would personally be fine. So yeah, I'm not looking for much because I'm not hopeful, but because I'm honestly quite satisfied, and I'd be content with that. And then going into 2025, all right, Nintendo Switch 2, that's the year to shine. Let Nintendo cook, come out with that new platform with a beefy lineup, and do what they did for these last 7 years all over again. Yeah,
I like it a lot. I like that. I like that vision a lot, Paul. That's awesome.
We'll see.
And we'll see. Take it over, Lily. Lily, what would make this year, the rest of the year? Because so far we've had an okay year. Right? It's not that has been not too bad. I mean, knowing that it is a transition year, Nintendo obviously working on the next system. We're about to see it in a moment. So, what would make or break this year for you when it comes to a Direct? Let's say it's coming. The Direct is on the way. What would make or break the Direct for you?
Well, what make it break for me will definitely be the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, but I feel like that's not going to happen. Like, I don't know exactly why. I mean, Nintendo is holding off on that, either to have them separate or to have them available on the NSO, which I doubt. So I'm not really sure exactly why. I mean, they have been pushing and remaking or remastering some of the Zeldas out there. But that would definitely break it for me 100%. And I keep telling everybody, like, I do understand that I also have like the old games. I have the GameCube version. I have the HD version. and just for you to get it also for the Nintendo Switch. But hear me out. My Nintendo Switch is the only thing I play right now. So that's the only main reason why I want it for the Switch, right? And I'm not the only one saying this. Like we have been waiting for that for a very long time. So for me, that would definitely break it. However, being more realistic, if the Nintendo Direct is happening on April, I mean, if we're considering it, we only have like 2 major Nintendo Switch games releasing this year, which is Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and that's pretty much it. We don't have anything else. So of course we have been I'm really looking forward to anything Metroid Prime 4. I mean, we have been waiting for many years as well, so I do agree with Paul on that one. If they at least give us like a teaser, I will be more than happy, like just to hear about it. And if you scroll on social media, especially on LinkedIn, for example, you do see a lot of retro studios hiring a lot of people. So that kind of gives me a little bit of hope that we might hear something. But after listening to that, they kind of restarted the whole thing, of course, a couple of years back. We don't know what's going to happen, right? And I will love something Super Mario Galaxy 2, of course, because I feel like not a lot of people had an opportunity to play it. And for those of you that actually played it, it's such a wonderful Mario Galaxy. Like I even liked it even way better than the first one. Like in terms of like the actual interaction and the gameplay and the mechanics and everything, I feel like it's way better than the regular Super Mario Galaxy, right? And yeah, I mean, anything that they pretty much announce, I feel like is really going to make me very happy, right? But the other thing that really gets me a little bit concerned is given the fact that if we are going to get a Nintendo Switch 2 next year, this is not brand new, right? In terms of Nintendo will always try to push a new title or a new game on the new console. So that's also another thing. Like I would love to see Metroid Prime 4 to go back with the Nintendo Switch 2. Because I love Legend of Zelda, but being realistic, I don't really think that we're gonna get anything Legend of Zelda related for a couple of years. We might get a DLC, but we got confirmation that's not happening soon, and it might not even happen. So yeah, I mean, if in summary, if they can say something Metroid Prime 4, if they can throw in Super Mario Galaxy 2, that'll be amazing. And of course, if they can break it, I would love to hear Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD for a Switch. That would definitely make it for me.
To give you just a little bit of hope, just a little hope. that was it. Emily Rose, was it Paul? Emily Rose was the one who broke
Rogers.
Why do you say Rose? Emily Rogers was the one who broke Metroid Prime 4 Remaster, and she also mentioned that they also had done Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. They were done. They were just sitting on those games, and so Metroid Prime 4 was delayed. Correct me, Paul, if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I have my own thoughts on Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Like I think I mentioned last week, Wind Waker as of last week. It's been longer from the Wii U version to now than from the GameCube version to that Wii U remake. So it's been so long that Nintendo could either just be waiting for a rainy day when they have this lull, or since it's been so long, maybe they're souping it up, saying, you know what, it's been too long that we can't just re-release this 10-year-old Wii U game as is. It's surpassed the amount of time from GameCube to Wii U that it deserves something for the next generation. Or Twilight Princess, we need to make it look a little bit better because it's just that much more removed and that much more modern that it cannot look weak on this console now. The expectation has raised, so it needs a texture map or it needs something else. So
that makes sense, actually.
They could just drop it whenever, but I think at this point, maybe they're waiting to soup it up a bit more. Also, I just mentioned in the chat real quick, Super Mario Galaxy 2, 7.5 million sales. Super Mario Odyssey, 27.5 million sales. 20 million more. Mario has gotten bigger and bigger, and Nintendo Switch is a hardcore gamer's machine and a casual machine. It's both. Because despite we selling 102 million units, Super Mario Galaxy 2, this beautiful game, sold less than 8 million.
Yes.
So it was kind of smaller core demographic. So there is a lot of opportunity for that game to shine. Not to just take away from Zelda talk, but like
no, for
I
sure.
think Wind Waker would serve well on the new platform, on this platform. But maybe they're just souping it up. I don't know.
But I don't know. Probably Grusso is working on something. They have done amazing job with the previous remasters and remakes. Recently, the Link's Awakening. So they might be working on something. We don't know.
Yeah. So
honestly,
yeah. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, I was just gonna say with how Paul, you mentioned how Mario has grown, and that barely sold any games back then. Especially with the movie and how much everybody loved Lumily, they just need to make an ad. Like if they made an ad for Mario Galaxy 2, that Lumily was like the Lumily from the movie was saying like introducing blah blah blah. Like you can see me there. I am when it's like Lumily next to Rosalina, but like better graphics, better this, better like the Mario Galaxy or the Mario movie fans would go nuts for that who haven't played this game. Like specifically the kids I'm talking about, but like
of course
that would sell so many just from Lumily advertising it.
I agree. Before I pass on to Zach so he can give us our answer for the direct make or break question, I want to give a huge shout out to we broke 100. We are 104 combined with on X, on YouTube, and on Paul Gale Network and Facebook. So congratulations, crew. We are past podcast number 2, breaking 100 viewers. Thank you so much, guys, for giving us your time of day and spending time with us, right? Because you could be anywhere else on a Friday night, but you choose to be with us, and that means more than the world to us. Thank you so much here. 104. And I think that's we need 3 more to break last week. We had 107 last week at watchers. So yeah, share the podcast if you are on your favorite social network, and then invite us. Paul, are you raising your hand?
Yeah, I have something to add to that. If you have a significant other, your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad in the house with you right now, say, hey, can you go to YouTube real quick? Go to Mike Odyssey. Can you click on that video? Can you also click the like button? Thanks. And they
Speaking of that like button, big shout out there. We're over 50 likes on YouTube.
Exactly. Actually, we can get to 100 likes if we want right now. If you guys can hit that like button
on YouTube.
If we get, that's right. We are. Let's see here. All right, we can go a little higher on YouTube, guys, and that'll help us a lot because that'll take the podcast a lot further. But thank you guys for being here. We just broke 108. We broke
that. There you go. Yay.
Thank you, significant others who heard Paul.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching from their phone, from the computer.
Thank you, Mr. Miyamoto. Mr. Miyamoto liked it.
There you go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Zach. Zach, what do you think? Direct comings, let's say it's coming. What will make or break this direct for you?
All right, I'm going to start with the negative because then we need to go back up to the positive. So honestly, breaking it would be if the handheld system was still only 720p. That would be pretty rough for me. I know people love to talk about, well, you can't even see pixels over this many or that many. It's not just about pixels. Compare a 720 display to a 1080 to a 4K. Look at a rotating item, you're going to see way more aliasing because there's less pixels to smooth it out. And so, I am just I would love to have a Switch system that looks better in my hands than this current one does. So that would break it for me, is if there was no like big tangible upgrades, I guess you could say, on the handheld side of things. If the battery life was just as long or shorter, that would be rough. You're always looking for increased battery life. But yeah, so just kind of the technology on the break it side. As far as make it goes, I feel like some of you guys might know my answer already because I have been waiting for a sequel or even a remaster. I don't even care at this point, to Diddy Kong Racing. Give me more Diddy Kong Racing, please. I still will shout my conspiracy theory to the moon and back about how the Labo took maybe a pitch or a prototype of a Diddy Kong Racing and just kind of made it into something else, because those balloons were the exact same and you could fly and you could drive and you could hover. But give me more Diddy Kong Racing, and give me more Diddy Kong Racing. That would be my other one that would make it. I have two more. One of them would be give me more Diddy Kong Racing. And then another one that would make it for me would maybe be if we get a Smash Ultimate DX, because we don't really need a full new Smash game again. That's going to take so much time to develop. But if you give us a DX, then we can get more DLC. I would love another. Was it the Spirit? The Spirit Sword was cool, but it wasn't a story. You know, like the Subspace Emissary in Brawl. That was. I still go back and replay that in Brawl like all the time. You want to just give me some more new characters in an actual story mode tacked on to Smash Ultimate and Smash Ultimate DX. Oh, sold.
That is awesome.
And it makes Triforce waffles.
Makes Triforce, the Triforce waffles. They have to make that Triforce waffle maker, because they don't make it. You know, I think that they're leaving money on the table. But thank you for your Switch 2 watch. Now we're talking about the Nintendo Direct that's coming for this year. So what are your makes or breaks for the Nintendo Direct?
That would be my makes or breaks if the Nintendo Direct talked about the Switch 2 and then
okay, perfect. Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take that all the way, because I want to hear. I hope they give us like a little mini trailer, right? Like a little teaser trailer of the Switch 2, and then in that teaser trailer we get a high, like a resolution, hyper realistic Diddy Kong, the close up in the face like that with all the pores sticking out. Yeah, so that's basically what I want to see, like the pores and stuff.
Have you seen the? Do you know the show Ancient Aliens? Like even from the memes.
I've seen
the guy with the hair. It's like up like this. And he's like, "It's aliens, bro." Like that's like a big meme. History Channel or whatever channel it comes on. They had a promo where it was like super zoomed in and like CG, and it looked like there was like these alien species or whatever. It's like zooming out, and there's all these like trees and stuff, and it keeps zooming out, and it was just homie's hair, and it was just like a hyper realistic zoom in on like his scalp. And then it pushes out. You see, that's what we want Diddy Kong to look like.
We got Bloopies and Rupee saying, "Give me Diddy or give me death."
Did anybody by any chance see the new footage that came out of the Japanese?
Yes.
That's so freaking cool.
It's
oh my
so
gosh,
cool.
The way the minecart is going throughout the. Oh my gosh.
Talk about the Donkey Kong Country, the theme park.
Yeah, the new footage.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The fake jump on the tracks is so brilliant.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, it's brilliant.
So cool.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going fast enough to actually, feel kind of thrill-like.
Yeah, it should feel like you're actually flying there.
Your point of view is basically you jumping the rails when you're not, right? You're being hauled by the side. And they're actually running in some test rides and everything, but nothing major. So I saw it. It looks really, really cool.
I know there's they started testing the theme park for here in Orlando for the dragon. That was it. The How to
Train Your Dragon.
Train Your Dragon. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah. So they started tasting that roller coaster, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I can't wait for it to be built. I know it's coming in my backyard. Paul's backyard is also getting Donkey Kong Country as well. And it's gonna be awesome. But my Nintendo Direct make or break, I would say, you know what? You guys know how far I go with this, right? I go really far. My Nintendo break would be no Direct, period. Because I'm happy if they actually mention a Direct. Not getting any more first party games for the rest of the year. I would say, man, I would have loved to have a little. This is if you're gonna port a game, this is the time to do it, right? Towards the end of the console, because you're getting ready for all the new stuff on the next gen system, right? Ports, I I would say more. I want to see more remakes on the next gen system than ports. And so if they were to give us ports for now, I would love to see Wind Waker being ported to this system. Although, even though with backwards compatibility, AI upscaling, we'll still get the beauty of it in the next gen system. They'll probably give give the game some patches, because once they port it to the Switch, it'll officially be a Nintendo Switch game, right? Just like they did with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. That is now an officially Nintendo Switch game, right? That game looks amazing. They did. Some people call it a remaster. Some people call it a remake. I'm on the remake because there's way too many things added, too many assets that were upgraded on the system. But I want to see Wind Waker. Okay, Twilight Princess, I can wait, but I want to see Wind Waker come this year. Metroid, officially Metroid, at least 2 and 3, and like Paul said, 2 and 3. Shadow drop it in April, right now, right, digitally, and then give us in November that Metroid Prime 4, or even at the end of the direct presentation saying, "Hey, Andre's Restart." Andre's Restart mentioned this in the last podcast. He said, "What if we get an announcement for a Metroid Direct?" And there they go all in, with giving us Metro 2 and 3, and then going in depth with Metro Prime 4, showing us the worlds, showing us some gameplay mechanics, like a little tree house, just kind of making like an event for Metroid, and then that'll be the game for the year, right? And I mean, with the rumors, I'm not sure who said this. I don't want to kind of mention the name out there and get it wrong, but I know it was one of the credible leakers who mentioned that there was an event dedicated to Metroid that they were planning. So this Metroid Presents Direct or whatever maybe that's all we get in the year, right? Maybe that's all we get. That Metroid Presents. I'm happy with that. I will be happy with that. That's 3 games, 2 and 3, and Metroid, right? And then
Mike? My other break it would be if they announced Metroid Prime 4 was canceled. That would be
a break.
For the last 5 years that you think that we've been developing this game since the canceled announcement and reboot, we actually canceled it again, and we're starting again development now.
Yep.
Oh.
No. I wouldn't be able to handle that.
That'd be crazy, man. My heart just sunk. You said that my heart just sunk. What? This game's only been like a recruiting tool? Hey, come work for us. Come work for us at Retro Studios. You'll be able to develop a Metro Prime 4. Then to cancel it? Yeah, that'll be
evil. That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it or not, I'm almost 95% on board that there will be a Metro Prime 4 this year for Nintendo Switch, because it was announced for Nintendo Switch, right? What would they announce a game that for Nintendo Switch almost 7 years ago, and then bring it over to Switch 2 if it was not announced for Switch? I personally believe that Metro Prime 4 will be that Breath of the Wild type of game, where it was available on Wii U and then it was available on Nintendo Switch, like that, right? The kind of that dual release game. But for this Direct, I think that'll make me happy. Just having a Direct, having a couple of ports, of course. Mario Odyssey 2, Mario Odyssey, Mario Galaxy 2 would be a great addition, because I have not played that game, and I want to play with the newer mechanics on the Switch. Will be awesome. Maybe improvements, quality of life improvements and stuff. HD. What else? I heard there's word out there about another HD port from the 3DS, which is new Animal Crossing New Leaf, and so that could also be a nice little port to bring over to the Switch. It's not a big like a huge game, but it's also like a nice cozy little game to ease Animal Crossing fans, and there are a lot of Animal Crossing fans after New Horizons. It's the second best-selling game on the Switch. So that will be a really good game to bring it to Nintendo. I will be ecstatic with that game. I know my daughters will be also crazy about the game. And yeah, I mean that's. Oh wait, NSO. I want to see NSO. And I keep on saying it was brought up by this leaker. What's his name again? Leaker. The leaker. I forgot his name. Spanish leaker. From see if I can find his name.
Necrophilippe?
No, it's not Necrophilippe. Not Necrophilippe. Spanish leaker. What is his name? I had a brain fart right now.
Reggie
Anyway.
Fils-Aimé?
No, Reggie's not. Reggie's not. He's not a leaker. He's not Hispanic. Well, who knows? Maybe he could be Piroro. We never know. He could be Piroro. But yeah, a Spanish leaker, well known. I'm just having a senior moment right now. Mentioned. I even forgot the game he mentioned. What was I talking about? Hold
We're
up.
talking about NSO.
NSO. Oh yeah, GameCube to NSO. Okay, GameCube to NSO. I've been preaching this all year. I think no. GameCube is coming to NSO. GameCube is coming to NSO. But Mike, I think Nintendo only wants to support games. Yeah, they do, but there's so many games on GameCube. There's over 600 games on GameCube, and I don't think Nintendo's going to port each and every one of them. There are games on GameCube that will live very well on NSO. Animal Crossing, very first game, the one that introduced it all, right? The punching game. Smash Bros. Melee. All right. Smash Bros. is Melee. Melee is a good, really popular game that Nintendo will never remaster because there's Smash Bros. Ultimate. They have the Ultimate going on. And then, of course, if they do the Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch 2, Melee can live online with gameplay, with online gameplay, right? There's other games out there, F-Zero GX is out there, can live online. There's so many games that are not portable or like ported quality games that are still good games that could live on NSO in the GameCube library. So I'm not gonna say Pioro. That's not the guy. Come on. X.com. I was gonna kill me. I need to look that up, guys. I need to look at his name because it's gonna drive me crazy.
The only thing I can currently find was the patent that was discovered by Joe Reggett.
Who's Joe Reggett?
For GameCube controller type thing coming to Nintendo Switch. But that was in January. 3 months ago.
Yeah, that was the first clue. The first clue because that patent shows the actual. I'm sorry, I'm probably too close to the mic. That patent shows the actual icons that are used on NSO for the other systems as well. So you get the little patent where you see the controller in like little dotted form, and you see the solid form, and you see the colored form. And so those same exact icons are the same exact icons that show for the other systems on NSO. That was the very first sign that pointed towards GameCube on NSO. The other sign is the leak. This leaker. Let me go ahead and find it here, because if I don't find his name, I'm gonna go nuts.
You're not gonna be able to sleep.
I'm not gonna sleep at all. I'm gonna just pace back and forward. And okay, well, where's it? Okay.
But if that happens, here's a follow-up question: are we gonna get? If the NSO is the price is it going to increase again? Because that happened with the Nintendo 64 inventory, right? Like all the games. And if we get GameCube,
I would assume so. I would say it's Weedle, Mr. Weedle guy, the Weedle, and Weedle. What's that first net? Needle Weedle, Needle Weedle. No, Nash. Yeah, Nash Weedle. I said Needle Weedle. Anyway,
close.
Yeah, Nash Weedle was the one who brought up the patent where it had the GameCube emulators. Okay, the GameCube emulator, and I think Nintendo DS as well. But I'm more excited about the Nintendo GameCube being added to NSO. So we have two back-to-back patents. Patents are legal documents from Nintendo. They're not leaks. They're mostly like legal documents from Nintendo of their plans, behind-the-scenes things they're protecting. Some of them make it out, some of them don't. Some of them have features in them that proceed to the next level, and some don't. But those are the two things that I base myself on, and I want to see added to NSO. this year. I think, you know what? Forget Metroid. Forget everything else. No, forget a Nintendo Direct. If Nintendo just adds GameCube to NSO, that's all they need to do for the rest of the year, and then add 5 games: Mario Kart Double Dash, add Smash Bros. Melee. Imagine Mario Kart Double Dash online, playing it online, right? Smash Bros. Melee, Luigi's Mansion, the first game, the very first one, right? Super Mario Sunshine, maybe Sunshine. They released it and then took it away. You know, so it's technically not online anymore, right? And then
It's not.
I can't. And then Animal Crossing, the very first one. Like they always add like 5 games to begin with. Those 5 games, those will be really, really cool games to have on NSO that I think would actually kind of, you know, give us things to play while we wait for Switch 2. So those are my picks. You know, guys, I'm always very dreamy. I like to dream. I like
the bar very high.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, you know what? If I mention as many things as possible, maybe Nintendo listens to it and gives me one of them. I'll be good to go. But yeah, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the whole Nintendo Direct? First thing, how likely you think is that we're getting any type of presentation this month? Anybody?
Yeah, I do want to point out that I actually
so.
misunderstood the break it, because for me to break it is to be like like amazed, right? For me, that's what I understood. But now listening to everybody's input, I'm like, what would it break it? Like, I'm not really. If they don't say anything about everything that I just mentioned, I'm good. Every Nintendo Direct is always the same. But I do agree with you, Mike, that they have a lot of potential with the NSO. Also, that, you know, Nintendo Switch is moving on. Next year, we're hoping that everything that gets announced is going to be for the next console or whatever, if that's the case. So yeah, I don't know what. I will go with no Direct, I guess. Yeah.
Another make it. Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, when you were talking about Double Dash, that reminded me. Another make it for me is Double Dash abilities in a new Mario Kart or added to Mario Kart 8. I love the switching between the characters, because you can switch. It lets you switch between your items. Like, that's so huge.
Yeah.
And then also wheelies. Bring back wheelies. There was a good risk reward. It'd be perfect. It's almost a perfect game. We just need wheelies again.
And this is Double Dash, the game where you have 2 characters in one cart, like one driver and one. So
powers.
Yeah, the next Mario Kart could have basically those abilities. Let's have a little bit of the best of everything and call it Mario Kart Ultimate, right?
Yeah.
But I agree. Nintendo, listen to the Nintopics podcast, because I think you'll get ideas. You'll get ideas, Nintendo. You'll have a good time. All right, so let's see here. Let me see. Okay, we got here. What else do we have? The topics, Nintendo Direct and the World Showcase. Hollow Knight Silk Song. That game is coming out because it's been already. It's been rated, so you know it's on the way. It's on the way. All right, so we know there's a PlayStation event happening in May next month, right? Ubisoft Forward is happening in June. And so we got some events coming up ahead of us. Microsoft and Nintendo have not said anything at all, so that's why we're kind of expecting something to happen this month on behalf of either company, Microsoft or Nintendo. I know with Microsoft, we're getting a lot of games from Microsoft to Nintendo Switch. Hopefully on Nintendo Switch 2 we get more stuff. We got that 10-year Call of Duty contract going on, and so I'm pretty sure that's going to start with Nintendo Switch 2. And that is all the topics. I think it's time to go to our Q&A and go over to our amazing chat today. Guys, your questions, go ahead and write your questions down below, and the crew will pick up your question, and I can go ahead and highlight it because I have the highlighter here. So if you have a question, go ahead at Mike Odyssey so that I can kind of pop up on the chat, and I can go ahead and highlight it so that anybody from the crew can answer your question. Now, your question at this point could be anything from the topic, any games you guys want to talk about, or anything in particular regarding any of the content creators that you're seeing on screen right now. So go ahead, Q&A. I wish I had that little waiting music, like ding, 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 ding.
Oh, looks like we got our first question, Mike. It looks like Games for You wants to know what your favorite weird smell is.
All right. Where's that question?
Oh, I just made that up.
I'm gonna say what my favorite weird smell is. It's not really weird, but it's one of my favorite smells. It's rain in Puerto Rico or in an island or wherever. I love the sound of the smell after it rains. So that's the kind of weird smell that I like. Here, I've been getting used to it's Florida. It's a swamp. It's not the same. Not the same as back home. Like Lily knows, right? Lily, is there anything like back home? Is there anything like back home?
We have a hell lot of snow here, but
Oh, yeah.
no, I don't have any snow where
A lot of
where I
cold.
come from. It's very cold.
So, anybody want to answer the smelly question?
I don't think this is too weird, but I mean, I like the smell of sulfur, like after fireworks. That's a good smell. And I also like the smell of gasoline. Like when I go to the station and I
That
pump
is
up,
true.
sulfur and gas smell good.
That's true. I have to agree with the gasoline one. I have to agree.
Yeah, gasoline's pretty. It's pretty great.
But after a while, you like feel woozy and everything. I'm like,
Yeah, don't go smelling on purpose. But if
No.
it's nearby, take a whiff.
I have to say that I had that experience recently, just because I have a lawnmower that's battery operated, right? But it broke down, so I had to borrow my mom's, and my mom's has a really old fashioned one with a little knob at the top. You have to put gas in it. It's not old fashioned; it's still selling new. But I'm used to the battery ones that I can recharge all the time. And I was like pouring gas on it. I spilled gas all over the place, and I it smells pretty good. They should make like a cologne out of this. It's kind of like smell like gasoline. There you go. But the gas thing is good. Joycey J. Hey, Joycey. Will the next Direct have something Zelda? Because I need it. Joycey says. Also, my bet is still for April Direct at my God, right? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. Anybody else wanna pitch in?
I think there's a 64% chance that there's a Nintendo Direct in April, and a 32% chance that if it happens, there's a Zelda in it.
Good odds. That's a good odds. Go ahead, Lily.
Yes. I'll go with the yes. I mean, if the April Direct is happening, there's always something. And if there isn't like an announcement, at least they're gonna be throwing something soon. Like they might hint something. So I'll go with yes.
Awesome. And Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I always think a Zelda game's likely like a remaster. At least there's just so many, and it's always hard to compare. Like if a game does good, because we have these games like Animal Crossing and Mario Kart that just do absolutely bonkers numbers. But like Link's Awakening put up solid numbers. We got Four Swords, we got the other ones. So I always think that that's something that Nintendo's working on, is some sort of remaster of some sort of Zelda game.
And here's Joycey. Here's Joycey weird smell. I like the smell of wood freshly cut. I wish my home smelled like Home Depot. That's cool. Yeah, so that's Joycey's smelly, crazy, smelly. What was the question? Smelly what?
Favorite weird smell.
Very weird smell.
All right, I'll bring a weird question every week.
And Chris Lancer, one of our giveaway winners from like 2 years ago, says, "What do I need to get the controller?" You know what? I'll resend you the email again, because I sent you the email, I think it was like 2 years ago, to claim. But I'll send you the email again so you can get your controller. All right, buddy. All right. Let's see here. We got here. It says here that guy Oli says, do you think it's a good idea to buy a Wii U in 2024 right before the service shut down? I just bought one and put Pretendo on it. I mean, I have a Wii U. I am actually playing it now in this downtime from Nintendo. There's no major big games that I'm interested in playing, so I'm actually going back on the Wii U. I'm playing Wind Waker, and then after Wind Waker, I'm going to play Twilight Princess HD. And so I think that if you're going to play any games that are not on Nintendo Switch, that are part of the Wii library, you have those games there as long as all legal and everything, then yeah, go for it. I mean, so I love collecting systems. I have the Nintendo, I have the Super Nintendo, I have the 64. My daughter has the GameCube in her room, you know, and so I recommend getting all older systems just because they all have their unique libraries that haven't been ported. Pretendo, I heard Pretendo is like a community that hopefully would allow you to play games online. Don't know how much that will last with Nintendo ninjas all around. So just be careful it doesn't break your system. But when it comes to buying games, I'm pretty sure you can find cheap games for Wii U and play games on Wii U. Yeah, I recommend buying any older system, even the Nintendo Switch before the Switch 2 comes out, because the Switch library is incredible. And I'm pretty sure that if you're buying your first Switch just now, there are games on there that you have never played, and you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a great time, So anybody wants to chip in?
I just bought my Wii U, so go for it.
Yeah. I've had mine for less than a year. Go ahead.
From a collector's
time to
standpoint,
buy an old school Nintendo platform.
Yeah.
And it's probably the cheapest it'll ever be at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with only the 13 million units selling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just thinking from like a video game, not necessarily console perspective, but like the most collectible games that are worth the most aren't the most popular. They're the ones that didn't sell well. And so there was less of them. And so if we think about how the prices of N64s were skyrocketing and of NESs were skyrocketing, there was a lot of those systems out in the wild. And so having a Wii U that didn't sell well 10 years from now, those will probably be like $500 minimum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. And same thing goes for the Nintendo Switch. Once it's out of production, the prices go up. Let's see here. Let's go for another question.
I think we just got a super chat, by the way.
Yep,
we did.
From Clifford Favors.
Let's go ahead and go to Clifford Favors then. Where is Clifford Favors? All right. First of all, thank you, Clifford Favors. By the way, you have a great, really cool name, Clifford Favors, for that super chat. And this question goes for everyone. Is there a game that you have played on any system that was underrated, in your opinion? That's a good question. Underrated games. Underrated games, guys. Underrated games. I have one. On NES. This game is just if you guys look it up, and I mentioned it before, it's just hilarious. It's called Caveman Games. Okay, on NES, it's called.
I had it.
You had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a game that I think will never make the light of day today. The remake would not go down well today. It's called Caveman Games. It's about caveman stuff, like the stupidest stuff ever. But it's like an Olympic Games by cavemen. And one of the games is like they're trying to make a fire, and then you hit the person next to it with the stick. You hit the guy with the stick, and you see the little birdie flying. You're trying to win, and you can cheat at the same time, right? Another game is like they have I think they're riding dinosaurs, racing dinosaurs. If you fall, I think you get eaten by a dinosaur. It's just the craziest things happen inside the game, inside Caveman Games. Instead of throwing, this is how crazy it is. Instead of throwing like a disc, like a natural disc, and see how far it goes, a caveman throws his wife. And he's like just spinning it. He's spinning it, and then this, and then if she falls really far away, she starts dancing and celebrating. And like it's just a very crazy, dumb, stupid game that I wish they made again in higher definition. That's it. Anybody else?
I know there is. I just can't think of it offhand. I'm like trying to look at my game collection from here.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of these games were reviewed pretty well, but maybe could have done better commercially, like Battalion Wars on Nintendo GameCube. I would say that's one. Excite Truck on Wii. It wasn't the Excite Bike sequel that a lot of people wanted, but Excite Truck was actually a pretty fun game with, the stages morphing and stuff like that. And this is definitely not underrated, but undersold. And that is, oh my gosh, it just slipped me. I was just going to say it, and then it just slipped. Oh no.
Oh no.
I had it in my mind because definitely not underrated, but oh no.
On what system?
Hold on. Astral Chain.
Okay.
There's no way if you're a Nintendo Switch owner and you're like, oh, there's nothing to play in the second half of the year, and you're one of the 140 million people that's thinking that, only 1.5 million of you bought Astral Chain, and that's a top tier, high quality game. So there goes to show there's plenty of games on the system that are amazing that haven't been purchased in the quantity that they deserve. So that was what I was going to say. Astral Chain.
I think I'm going to pick it up. I think I'm going to pick the game up. It's on Switch, right? It's on Switch?
Not underscored. It scored well, but just could have sold better comparatively.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to go with Epic Mickey. I know we're getting the remaster now, but I loved that game. But the gameplay I thought was fantastic. But then also from like a meta standpoint, like how it was like an actual commentary on the history of Disney and how like Oswald was before Mickey and like he's mad at Mickey for like replacing him and stuff. I just thought it was so cool. And my favorite, what was that?
Oh, I'm saying that he's back home.
Yeah, I know. It's so great. And so I had the Tron Wiimote that like lit up with the blue Tron lights. And then I had the Epic Mickey nunchuck. And so that was like with the paintbrush. And so that was like my go-to, like, these are just the controllers that I use. But then the other one that I would say, which, I'd have to say Mario Strikers Charged was so fun. And it just kind of fizzled out. And then we got the new Mario Strikers, which had like one drop of effort put into it compared to the whole gallon that the other one had.
That's good.
Those are my two.
That's good. And Lily?
I'm gonna go with Arms.
Arms, yeah.
Good
I don't. It was a good mechanic and gameplay interaction. They had very excellent character designs. I remember playing it on one of the E3s, and it was a good concept. But for some reason, it's just never actually grown on people. Like it's basically forgotten now. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Arms.
That's a good pick. I think we all got really good picks in underrated games. And let's thank you so much, Clifford, for that $5 super chat. Let's go ahead with next question here. This is a interesting question. What would be the opinion of the panel of a realistic Wind Waker game? Open world and 4K visuals, no tune style.
So quick shout out to Christopher too. He also dropped a $5 super chat.
And that's going on. I'll get to it once I scroll down here and see here. All right. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get to that. And go ahead. Yeah, take it away. Zach, what do you think?
I would be excited. Anytime you get another way to play something.
Yeah.
Like, if the new way to play something's not for me, then okay. But no, with the visuals of Wind Waker, like in 4K, that would be amazing. And then also too, I have the Philips Hue lights and I have them like sunk to my TV.
Yeah.
And so when like the right side of the screen, something happens, the lights on the right side of the room match it. And when something like on the left side happens and in the top or the bottom. And so I've learned specifically that is for cartoons. That is like peak when something is very cartoony with tons of bright colors. If it's like an actual like real cinematic movie, I'll like turn it to like really subtle where it's like just kind of lit up behind it.
Yeah.
But I don't even have the whole room changed just behind the TV. But if I'm watching like a cartoon, I have everything change. And so with a 4K Wind Waker and just having like all of the lights in my room just like match it, that level of immersion could not be topped. So I would be jazzed. That would be a day one purchase for me.
I have the same thing, but with a company called Goovy. I think it's Goovy. I think you have the little thing in the back. Yeah.
So I read that question completely backwards.
Yeah, with no tune style though. No tune style. Well, you answered it halfway through. Okay,
well, I'd still be hyped for it.
Yeah.
I was thinking 4K tune style.
All right, take it over, Lily.
I have a question for you, Christopher. You could probably answer that over there in the chat. But have you played the Wind Waker? I guess I do want to know if you played it or not, because I have to go with there's no way, I mean, being realistic, that's going to happen. And let me tell you why, because of Spirit Tracks and, you know, the sequel and I mean, Phantom Hourglass, I'm sorry. And I feel like everybody that asked this question, hey, what about taking away the visual tune style, which is the cell shading and all of that? It's just not going to be Wind Waker. It's going to be a completely different game.
Yeah.
If they were to do something like that and to have 4K visuals, or at least, you know, then I will go for Twilight Princess, because Twilight Princess is basically that. It's what they wanted. It's just that the Wind Waker was kind of thrown into a very it wasn't a good time for them to make something like that, because people were expecting something a little bit more mature, and they were expecting something Twilight Princess. So my opinion would be that that's not going to be a Wind Waker game. It's definitely not going to be the case. Also, there's a lot of people that haven't really played the Wind Waker because they felt I don't want to play a kind of cartoonish kind of style Zelda game anymore. Like, I wanted something more mature. And you really have to give that an opportunity. It's such an amazing and beautiful story that if they were to remake something like that, it'll be a completely immersive experience. I do agree with Zach on that one, if they do something like that. But no, I don't know. It's just me being biased, I guess, because I really, really do love the Wind Waker.
It has the most gruesome boss kill. Out of any Zelda game. So
I don't want to know about it. I'm playing it right now, so I don't want to know about it. I'll let you know how gruesome I find it once I finish it. Paul Guerra, take it away. What do you think? I
don't think it's necessary, but I would play it, and it would be very cool to see in a new style. I would definitely play it, and not necessary because the game looks beautiful in my opinion. Bumping it into 4K, maybe some extra textures added or some more frames of animation in Link and in the enemies, higher polygon count models, but to retain still the cell shaded look. That would be a better version of this ported 4K upgraded game than a totally different visual style. However, the totally different visual style might bring more people into it, because it could alienate some people of the original, saying, this is not for me. This is not the Wind Waker I know and love. But it could attract some people that purposely avoided it in the first place because it looked too cartoony. And then it could attract some people who would have said, you know what, I love the old style, but I probably wouldn't play the old style again because I already have that and I don't need to play it again better. But I'll play it again differently, looking hyper realistic. Like I said, I don't think it's necessary, but I would play it. But then again, I'm a sucker for Zelda and Mario, and those are a couple of the franchises that you release them again, and even if I own it, if that new version has something different, I'll probably buy it again.
Good answer. As for me, I'm currently playing it right now. I'm loving it every step of the way. I love I love the cartoon feel about it. I like the animation, I like the visuals. It just looks so beautiful, bright and colorful that I want nothing to be changed about it. I just love it. I would, of course, high resolutions. Everything Paul mentioned, I ditto that, and so yeah, that's those are my 2 cents. Did Zach, did you answer this question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I answered it backwards. I was talking about how excited I
Yeah,
am
you're right.
for
You're
a
right.
4K colorful version.
You're right. All right. Let's go ahead and continue here. We got more questions. Two. We got here comment by head moderator. Join Mike Odyssey Discord. Make sure you join the Discord channel. For more in depth, you guys can contact and message me there for any questions you have as well. The community is awesome there. We all support each other. So yeah, make sure to do that. Joyce, he has a question for Paul. Paul. Was that something you answered? You answered in the chat already, Paul? I legit thought they were just a byproduct of evil.
Oh, that was regarding, are there female Lionels?
Okay, I see.
And we don't really know for sure.
I am one that without shame, I could tell you that I avoid every single Lionel.
Oh.
Anyone. I just run away. No shame. Run away. All right, we got another question here from Chris Lancer. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thanks, Mike. Just really excited to use it. Awesome. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And we got here. Do we have any questions? Did I miss anything? Let's see.
Christopher did answer my question. He actually got it for a GameCube, and it took a while for get into it due to the art style. The open seas do lend themselves well to an open world style, Breath of the Wild style.
All right, let's see here. And did we get this one as well? I want to show. Okay, it says Christopher $5 super chat. Question is back in chat. Just wanted to show a little love. Money is a bit tight, so can't do much. Christopher, you just you $5. That's more than anyone can ask for. I appreciate you so much, and means so much for you that you support us this way. You are awesome, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for your support, man.
$5 super chats, $5 more than we ever expect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's see here. What do we have?
Hi, guys. To get a like.
All right. So we have here. Hi, guys. What do you think about Zelda Totka? All right. Go ahead, Lily. What do you think about Totka?
What do I think? I personally love the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say that it made me appreciate more Breath of the Wild, even more so than I already did.
That's good.
It does have a lot of groundbreaking abilities, of course, like Ascend and all of the Ultra Hand. It's just simply mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just kind of weared off very quickly for me. I feel like because it's pretty much the same as Breath of the Wild, and not taking those abilities away, pretty much. The depths and the sky and everything. But I do enjoyed it. I did liked it, but I don't know. It just I am being more appreciating more Breath of the Wild, even more so than I already did.
Yeah, and that's an amazingly fair point there, because Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, so there's a lot of similarities. We're just discovering new areas in Tears of the Kingdom, but overall, mechanic wise, other than the abilities and the story, I would say the overall gist of Tears of the Kingdom is very similar to Breath of the Wild. Paul, you have something to say?
I do have to go, but I will answer. I think Tears of the Kingdom is a fantastic game. And if you look at it independently and haven't played any other Zelda titles, including Breath of the Wild, you're getting a 10 out of 10 experience. You've got so much gameplay, so many side quests, voice acting, story, very little loading time, so much to explore, lots of gameplay mechanics, building mechanics. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. If you have played other Zelda games, maybe in a way, some of the experience is taken away because it builds off of Breath of the Wild in so many ways. But it definitely stands its own as being a very solid title. It's just the most similar Zelda game to a predecessor that I think the franchise has ever had, and that even includes Majora's Mask to Ocarina of Time. But I think it's still very worthwhile, and it's still a very fulfilling experience. Just maybe a little bit of that luster is lost because it is the same map, and it is. I like the fact that it's the same Link, but different costumes and stuff like that. But just some of it is samey, even though it is very different. If that makes sense, like the bosses are still different, the music is still different. The weapon mechanics are still different, but there's just some elements comparable that. For some, I could see why. Oh, why is it a little bit less of an appealing? Dang, I played this much of Breath of the Wild and only this much of Tears of the Kingdom. But still wonderful, and I still gave it a 10 when I reviewed it last year because aside from a couple of little things that I was like, could have used a little bit of a story connection here. I would have liked to see Ganondorf in the here and now doing things, and not just like, why are you just chilling in the castle? Why don't you go out in the field and mess with people, right? And the retelling of the ancient battle could have been a little bit of a different visual theme to that. Those weren't enough detractors to take it away from being a 10 in my opinion. But anyways, I love Tears of the Kingdom. Fantastic game, one of the very best of the generation. And
with that, Paul, why don't you tell us where we can find you, what you have going on this week, and stuff like that.
On Twitter/X, I am at Polygale Network, and that's what I'm at on YouTube, at Polygale Network. The latest thing going on Twitter is I had some nice Famitsu sales charts from Japan for the previous week, and also I not only put like up the top 10 and what the individual console sales were, but I compared Nintendo Switch's total this year to that last year for the same respective week, as well as PS5 and Xbox Series, and it's quite telling to see just how well Nintendo is holding on, and that's kind of reflective of the rest of the world too, but we'll find out those results, I think, May 8th from Nintendo, just how well did Nintendo Switch perform worldwide up and through March 31st. And on YouTube, if you saw at the beginning of the podcast, I showed off some of my Ryu, Ken, and of course this evil Ryu versus violent Ken Street Fighter swag. If you're curious to see more of it and what do those two look like on me, I kind of did a little unboxing video picture wearing thing. So if you want to know, like, does it actually look good, this hooded sleeveless sweatshirt? Well, that's on YouTube. I made a short little video, but that's about it.
That is awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Paul. And what do you have going on? Wait, let me where does this one come from? And take it away, Zach Hendricks. What do you have going on?
I don't have much going on, but when I do have stuff going on, you can find me at Zach Hendricks voiceover just about everywhere except for Twitter/X, where I am Young Calf Zach. I do know last week I said I would be streaming Smash Bros after the podcast today. However, my TV's broken. So that is getting fixed, and that stream is now pushed back to next Friday.
Next week.
But so that is next thing that I got going on would be streaming Smash Ultimate with viewers next Friday.
The Nintopics
right after. Post? Yeah, the Nintopics, what I call it, the post-pod party.
Yeah. The post party. Sounds good. And of course, our special guest, directly from Hyrule. Okay, LillyHyrule. I know a lot. I've been reading the chat. People are loving Lily. So Lily, where can we find you?
You can find me as LillyHyrule everywhere pretty much, but specifically on YouTube, I'm trying to. Well, I just recently got a teleprompter, by the way.
Oh, nice.
For those of you that don't know, I was a TV host a couple of years back, so I got very used of having a teleprompter. And if you don't know what a teleprompter is, it's basically you have like the little you have like your script, or you have your talking points, and you can see them directly on your camera, but it's completely invisible to you, the audience, right? So you can be talking directly to the camera. And we always make mistakes, and I feel like that's something that's really going to help me. I've been working on a Nintendo Weekly. Unfortunately, I was sick for the past 2 weeks, so I couldn't really keep up with the news. So I'm trying to get that out of the way. I'm also still going through my Zelda marathon, which I am committed to beat every single one of the mainline Zelda games. I was doing that on stream, but you will find the highlights, or like the very short version of the entire 2-hour stream on a 15-minute video, which are hilarious. They're very funny. So if you want to go there on the channel, you should be able to see it. And you can find me everywhere on social media as LillyHyrule. I do have a couple clips, reels, TikToks, whatever, everywhere. Bless you.
Thank you. I was trying really hard to hold it in.
No worries. And that's pretty much what I'll be doing. So yeah, I mean, send if anybody wants to reach out to me directly, I'm more than happy. And thank you very much again for having me. I'm super excited for being here. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. And Lily's right now is at 1.3. When I get it, we need to get it to 2K. Okay, guys, 2K before the end of the month. And maybe 3K, maybe 10K, you know, I mean,
That'd be amazing.
Get her up there.
I appreciate
all right,
that.
she has amazing content, and we'll be seeing more Lily pretty soon. All right, because she, you know, you'll see her very soon. We'll talk about it. We'll see more Lily very soon. And of course,
Also,
you can find me here. Yeah, go ahead.
Before you do your segue and send off, I just want to shout out YouTube got up to 70 likes.
YouTube got the 70 likes.
Amazing.
Thank you.
That is, yeah.
You guys are awesome. I mean, we're streaming on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places right now, including Paul Gale. So you and you guys can also stream on your platforms too. So Streamlabs has it so that you can stream on your own areas if you want to. That's your choice. Paul likes to stream on to have more content on his channel. He likes to stream the podcast as well. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for those 70 likes. Thank you for the 115 top people we had today on all throughout the entire industry of Facebook, Twix. We got Paul Gil and Eric, and of course here at the Odyssey. Before we let you go, of course, wait, I haven't said what I have planned, right? I'm here. You can find me here at the Odyssey Monday through Friday so far. And of course, we every single Friday here at the Nintopics Podcast. What I have going on is what I've been preaching or kind of announcing for the past month. My Odyssey show starting, I guess, me, right? and it's coming pretty soon. Working still on it. I'm redoing the studio back here just to make sure that I got a nice set going on, and I can't wait to show you guys what I have planned. It's a 10% news show, 10% news, 90% entertainment, evergreen. So hopefully you guys like that soon. Well, my giant, thank you guys so much for watching the Nintopics Podcast. You guys have been amazing, and let me see if I can put some music here because apparently my little button here thing, I gotta take Zach's advice and go get myself an Avermedia little
stream deck.
Yeah, a little acoustic thingy there. Okay, so I have sad music because we're leaving. I have lo-fi my Odyssey beats. I got some rock music here. Dance pop. Let's listen to this. How does that sound like? What do this? I guess. Wait. I got this one. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching the Nintopics Podcast. We're live everywhere. Not live. We're available everywhere you get podcasts. The show. Before we let you go, we got 2 things we need to let you know. Number 1, never give up, and number 2, take it away, Lily.
Oh my god, I was caught off guard.
It's a tradition on the show to get people off guard.
Well, I would say you said never give up. So
Uh-huh.
the other one would be for me to say. Oh my god, I don't know what to say.
The chat is
Yes, I know. Be yourself always, and make sure to help others as you would treat others as you would treat anybody else.
I'll take it. And then the chat is trying to help you. Help you there. The chat. Look at the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
So never give up and journey on. Peace.
Never give up. Bye. Blues.
What the heck is going on here?
It's the new tradition for Mike to struggle to end the podcast.
Yay.
This is like 3 weeks in a row that we've had this.
Bye.
Have a good night. Take care. Bye. Thank you for joining.